don't need my glasses. If I get live. Here we go. Greetings once again. This is Grandmaster Amin Ra coming to you from Kenya. And today I wanted to talk quickly. I was online talking to one of my good Facebook friends. I would not mention his name, but he's a very popular YouTuber and has thousands and thousands of followers. And we were just chopping it up back and forth. I think we both probably typed 60 words a minute, so we were just back and forth. And he said that it's better for blacks in the U.S. than where I was. Now he's, of course, in the U.S. and you know, I was taken aback because he's been to Kenya several times. I mean, not Kenya, but he's been to modern Africa several times. And we talking. He usually cracks jokes and complain about the service is slow. Africans don't do this right, and I get this mentality from certain people. And when I see that they have that mentality, it is not going to change. They had already made up their mind that they was gonna not like Africa, and so they come instead of looking at the positives, they look at the negatives, and then they highlight that. You see, this is why I can't live in Africa, or this is why I would never stay or come to Africa. And this is just a mindset. And okay, those people are there, and we all live among them. I live among them, and it's nothing really for us to do with that type of person. Now I'm 60 years old, and I know thousands of people, and I know all the different types of people, and deal with them regularly. And that's something that it's not worth it to try to change them, because they look at the world in a different aspect. And so America would have to, like, just get blown up by a volcano, like a giant volcano open up in Dakota, and just put lava all through the United States. And then you'll find a bunch of those people running to the shores, the east coast of in the ocean, hoping burn them. And then they're saying, well, once the lava finishes, we're going to be okay. We'll rebuild. These are the kind of people that they can be racism right off of the jaw. And as they've been packing up their bags, going to the car in the parking lot, they stop by their white boss, who tells them, I got you, nigga. That's for get out. I don't want to see you again. And they could, like, I forgive you. Can you give me some job references? They're just not going to see a connection with their circumstances, with the fact that they remain in a country which causes the circumstances. So I'm here online with my friend, and I challenge. I said, well, can you give me any reasons how America for Black people is better than modern Africa? Because I mean, I'm here doing these shows, and the more data I collect, the more I see, like, it's a complete no brainer. So he said, and I had to be on the phone with him that he didn't, he just typed off the top of his head. This this very popular YouTube blogger, Facebook friend of mine. We've never met in person, but we're always he can see me when I get on Facebook, and I can see him. And so this very famous Facebook blogger comes on and gives me 7 reasons. Like I said, I mean, he typed it off the top of his head. 7 reasons why blacks are better off in the U.S. than in modern Africa. And I want to read them to you today. And I want to read them to you and go over them with you today. Blacks are better off in America. America is better than modern Africa because in this kind of ways. The first number one, the guy puts, it has a better economy. Now, I don't know. Have you not? I can't understand that one. How you gonna have a country that got 0.3? I mean, 1.1, 1 point better. The best they can do is 2.2 GDP in the last 10 years. And you tell me that the economy is better. Everybody is saying the economy is bad. So I wrote and told him, look, you're in a country that is got 45% of the world's trade debt. Everybody is saying that the country is going to go into recession. The country is prone to recessions. African countries have been falling into recessions like America has, devastating the black community. 50% of black people lost their homes in the 2008 crisis, during the 2008 crisis. So I don't understand. You say our economy is better. Maybe they may do some a lot of transactions because of the fact that the dollar is, the number one currency around the world, but on its way out. But how can you say that the economy of America is better, than an African countries, for all their problems, which are not that many, are far more stable than the economy in the U.S. I mean, I was here in Kenya during the 2007-8 crisis, and I didn't feel a thing. In fact, like I said, I didn't watch the news. I don't watch the news that much, and I didn't even know the thing had taken place until 2009. Somebody happened to mention to me, or I think I saw an article on a magazine cover, and I was like, "What?" And then I was following it, but I didn't. There was no in Kenya. There was no adverse effect. People didn't lose jobs. Economy just ran smoothly. And this is because even back in 2009, a lot of issues that dealt with America, African countries had started moving far away from. I mean, 2005, African countries had started moving away from dealing with the United States. They really didn't get no new bank loans that America could call and say, "You give me my money now, I need it." They didn't have any like infrastructure projects that America says, "Oh, we're in a recession, we can't continue to fund your project." It wasn't like that. So, with the Chinese as a partner now, and they're true to their word, unlike the IMF and the World Bank, the economy has done nothing but flourish. Here we are, was almost brought down to our knees during a presidential election, where the Supreme Court had to decide who won, who lost, and it was a bit of violence, but nothing really. The people didn't work for some few days, or maybe a week or here and there, in certain areas. It wasn't the whole country, and then things went right back to normal. And so, but in America, no, it's not like that. The economy is just terrible. Okay. The second reason he gave was better infrastructure. And I was like, how? Because all of the indications I see that American roads are terrible, and they're getting worse, getting a lot of potholes and this like that. And people in the cities are really complaining that the road and the bridge infrastructure in America is going down. It was dangerous. We had bridges collapse in America, and I don't know why he was thinking of infrastructure, because all the news is talking about how, and brothers is telling me this too, that roads and things like that are not as good as they used to be. Meanwhile, in Kenya, as well as many modern African countries, Kenya has produced something like 2,000 miles worth of new roads. And this is going on every year. They're getting more and more roads. Like I was saying, when I first moved in this area, there was only one road that was paved. All the other major little inroads were all, some asphalt and some dirt road. They removed all of that and put cobblestone. The best type of road you can have. It's like it can last for 20 years. Cobblestone is what they use in Europe, where they just take these brick stones and then they make roads like that, and it's beautiful. And since we had our roads done like that, all of the roads in our area are now done. Like all the major inroads are done in the cobblestone. I did some videos of that about 4 or 5 years ago when they were doing it. And the infrastructure in Africa is improving with the advent of, like I said, the high-speed railway, the new road system. All these things are being supported by Kenyans, and some are being run by the Chinese, built by the Chinese. Now, the Chinese are building in 45 different countries around the world. So to say, oh, the Chinese are all through Africa, that's not true. They're in India, they're in Turkey, they're in the United States. You see what I'm saying? They're doing business with countries all around the world. So when you got focusing like the Chinese have directly on purposely come to Africa, it's not like that. They came here to do business. They found African countries, not all African, like 15 or 16 of them, and they're doing projects there. And this is just business. So it's not like the Chinese are just like the Western mass media propaganda want you to believe like the Chinese are only in Africa doing all this. No, they're doing this all in Europe, in Britain, Germany. They're doing it all over. They're doing major projects all over the world. So I don't think that people should get the point where like Chinese are just in Africa. No. And another thing about that, which you must understand, because they talk about Africa owes a lot of debt to China. I told you it was only 21%. But what I didn't tell you is to put that in perspective. Kenya owes China something like I think it's like 80 million. I'm not sure. It's like 80 million. It's not 100 million. 70, 60 million. If you do the exchange rate, it's like that. Now put that in perspective. On a weekend in China, an online store came out over a weekend, and people spent over $1 billion US just on that one online market in a weekend. So the amount of money that the African countries really owe China, when you look at the exchange rate, is nothing. You see what I'm saying? They can forgive the debt. They can, it's more like a help than anything. So when that guy starts talking about infrastructure, surely he needs to wake up and see, because also the Chinese are building the bridges in the U.S. and also the New York subway, as if they couldn't get somebody in America or some black company. No, they get the Chinese to do it, and then they talk bad when we use the Chinese in Africa. Joking. The third reason the guy gave was more opportunity to make money. And I was like, okay, you're a first world nation and you're supposed to be the top nation in the world. People are a bit busy, but what use is the money if you got to work 2-3 jobs just to make enough money to live and to pay off your credit card debt? Some people working 2 jobs just so they can have money so they can survive. So what kind of country is that? Yeah, you're busy, but damn, you don't have the chance to enjoy it. You just keep them just above water. You're almost drowning. And a lot of people do drown. And into the tents they go on a regular basis. So I don't think that you should be doing that. What's up, O'Shea? And then I don't think you should be doing that. Now, this friend who I won't mention, his fourth reason for why America is better, he said more industry. I was like, okay, more industry. Has he not seen that these jobs are being shipped? These jobs have long since been shipped out of the United States. The manufacturing base of the United States is gone. There's no more. I mean, General Motors just got to telling you that everything is in China now. They laid off like 40,000 workers to Ohio and Michigan. That's it. You know, if you don't like, if you people don't start buying some electric cars in America, then you can't go see General Motors. You know, they even got a factory in here in Kenya under Zuzu. So brand, but the thing is not a reason to say that the industry, more industry is going to really make a surprise. The biggest industry in the United States is what? I'm waiting. The biggest industry in the United States is military. Military. People don't know that. Like this incident that's going on with Boeing right now. Now you would think like a Boeing would create two planes that crash and burn because they did a messed up job. You think that company would be closed down or they'd be sued out of existence? Do you think that would happen? No, because Boeing is a makes more military things for the government. So because of that military connection, you're gonna still see Boeing, but they're gonna pull them planes out. They're flying them right now. They're putting them planes back out on service, man. And you can be sure the government is gonna be right there to support Boeing. Boeing can't die. You know, I was reading that where they got something like 4,000 pilots are independent. I mean, in a mass action suit to sue Boeing. He can sue all day long, but they know what they're gonna happen to it because the number one manufacturer is military, and we don't get that on TV at all. So anyway, let me see. S-Orbs, what is up, man? China owns so much real estate in the U.S. The most expensive cities, San Francisco, LA, New York. Yeah, I remember when they bought them two big towers in LA. That was way back in the goddamn 80s, and I was like wondering. People were laughing, saying that they bought that building, but it's never going to. It's never going to amount to anything. But you know, today they own even more. So property in downtown Los Angeles. And Walmart, yeah, I've heard about that. I have no evidence on Walmart. Okay, Healthy Lives Today. Thank you for the truth, brother. Thank you too. And if you like what I'm saying to you guys, I got help us keep this channel going. We don't have super chat in Africa. So I'm looking for somebody tonight to come on and say, look, here you go. Here's $5. Here's $8. And this is the only way we're doing it now. And if you send right now, if you go to westernunion.com right now, you can send money. And before I finish this show, I'll be able to give you a shout out. And we tried other ways and it doesn't. And now, because 4 people have asked me, why don't you use PayPal? And these and others. That's it. Okay, me personally, I have never owned a Visa card or a MasterCard. Me personally, let you look at me at 61 years old. I have never had a Visa card and MasterCard. I was just looking at that the other day, and I really don't like banks either. So, when I started working at in the Department of Defense, for defense for the U.S. government in the defense industry, we were paid every Friday. And that was my paycheck for 4 years. So I was never needing to have to, rotate money. And I was young, and I was not married. So I lived that kind of lifestyle. So it just never came up to me to get the card. And the way I run my affairs and money, it just never. I don't know. I just never felt the need, the power to go and say, okay, let me go file for a credit card. I saw what it did to my family, sisters and them, and I was like, that's not, I used to talk bad about it, and that was another reason why after I talked bad about it, I couldn't be a hypocrite. So when I came to Africa, I opened a bank account. They asked me, did I want a credit card? And I was like, no, thank you. So this is why we're doing this one. And for now, I'm sure it's going to change. I'm working on doing that. And we'll find a better way. But Western Union is the most secure way. Now you got these other companies, they're shady, and somebody put the name in wrong, and then they would like block the number. So they really don't take chances if you make a mistake. But Western Union is solid, and they're good. So I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for one of you guys right now. Come on, let's do this. I say like this: if I can get somebody to support the channel, then I can say that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the weekend we can do a show. You know, but I can't really afford to say that if we don't get anybody to throw out some few coins. That's the whole purpose of Super Chat. So let's see somebody work out with $5. Go to your phone. You can do it on your phone. You know, they have an app for Western Union. Bring in that $5. Let's continue. Okay, thank you for the truth, brother. Thank you. The U.S. jobs are becoming temporary. The type of jobs you get in America are these kind of jobs that we've always had here in modern Africa. These like short-term jobs where it's dealing with something about doing a building or building a project or something like that. A lot of NGOs we hear doing these things, and they still come and get money. I don't know how they do it. They get tax-free money from places, and then they come here and they make projects. But more and more, the industries in the modern African countries are creating corporate level jobs. And you can see that by the number of people that's driving, the number of new estates that they're building all over the place. So when this brother says more opportunity to make money, I don't think he wants to count the fact that they have so many traders that do business in Africa. Now they're all small. Most of them are small time. I agree, but I have met a lot of them. And these women that you might see sitting on a cart selling one particular thing for year after year, they just sell that one food at that one spot, and then when you go home to their house, damn, it's like a big place. And this all from this one spot that this woman is selling. They have done it right. They have got a spot. They have got a customer base. They know exactly how much food to cook, and they have worked it out over the years, and it becomes like something that they really depend on. And you would just think it's a lady just sitting there selling something off the side of the road, but I can point to you some ladies have been here since I've been here in the Bamburi area. So pilots, flight schools, small airports, etc. Anyone who works in aviation, thanks. Okay, the aviation field is in Kenya obviously is growing because the population is growing. They got new airports that they built and they remodeled airports here. I don't really fly, so that much. I flew from Mombasa to Nairobi by plane, and it was like going from LA to Las Vegas. Like you get in the air, then the next thing you know, whoop, you down on the ground. I'm like, man, I feel like I can walk. I know you can't walk, but I like driving, and I do a lot of business in Nairobi, so uh, the way it works for me is I get on the bus in the evening and sleep, and when I get to Nairobi at 6 or 5 in the morning, I'm fresh and awake and ready to do a day's worth of business. This is also a reason you can't take the train, because the train, it also throws me off and doesn't give me a time to sleep. You spend 4 hours to get to Nairobi, but you really can't sleep during those 4 hours, and then you're in the middle of it drops you in the middle of the day, and it doesn't work for my business lineup at this time. I'm sure they're going to put some more trains in at some different times, like night trains. That would be great. People would really go for that. But a lot of night travelers, I know we're pretty much used to each other. We know each other. We don't deal with trains. Please, okay, yeah. So I don't know any pilots, but I'm gonna try to find some pilots. Uh, I'll ask around when I go to Nairobi. But as far as the industry is concerned, I don't know that much about it. I just know that it's growing, just like almost industries here. And have email. Holla to you. Do you have an email? I have an email address. I'm using a laptop today, as you can see. I don't know how the quality is. I'm in K Rock. Uh, oops. At gmail.com. com. Okay, so I'm talking about a friend of mine who was on the show, and he was talking about is blacks are better off in America. America is better than modern Africa, and he gave these quick 7 reasons. And right off the top of his head, I would have been glad he took his time, and I went and shot down each one of these 7 reasons that he gave. And then number 1, he put better economy. Number 2, he said better infrastructure in the United States. I'm like, you must not be driving around much there. And then number 3, he put opportunity to make money. And number 4, he put more industries, even though the car factories, man, everybody, even Trump is telling you that the manufacturing jobs, he's trying to get them back. You see what I'm saying? Because they lost. You see, the more people are going to jump up and tell all them industries, okay, let's drop our Chinese workers because we want to go back to America. Nothing like that. And then they know that America's going down and the recessions can come all the time. They're going to stay in China and they're going to stay in Mexico. And even some are going to stay in Canada. They're not going to come back to America. You're joking. That's going to take a powerful recession to the point where when jobs come back, you're going to get lower wages. I have received 600 shillings from Richard Magum Jr. Again, Richard, thank you. You see how easy that is, guys? Now, where's the next person? Where is the next person to send out? I don't know why. I'm saying I can get 1, 2, 3 of my good buddies. They know me. They've been to Africa. Some of them know me. They know the money is going for a good cause. But if we want to have this great information done on a regular basis, let me see somebody do some supporting. I know you guys. I know how it is in America. I know you don't like. Oh, I can't support the channel. Oh no. I can get by. I can get free things. Okay, fine. But this is not a normal channel. This is a channel where the brother is coming to you from Africa, from modern Africa. I'm here. And many people have tried to go through my record and see, what's bad? There must be something wrong with this nigga some way. They done went all to my Facebook. They don't see, they see that I'm just a brother. The brother that has actually done what he said. Like I said, this channel is over 11 years old. I'm just now starting to use it now because people are interested in wanting to know about what's going on in the real world with Africa and then how they can compare it. Now, I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was born there. I was raised there. I went all through all. I know. I lived all there. I had bought a home. You had 9 cars and a motorcycle. I lived the life. So when I come to Kenya and I can live the life in Kenya, I can compare clearly where the problem is back and forth. So to get back on the list, the brother was saying that the better education, number 5 was better education facilities. Now notice he didn't say better education. He said better education facilities. So he went to somewhere where he saw an African school where, they have it under the tree, or, the school is like old and dirty. These colonial schools that never were kept up. And then, with the population boom, they become overused because too many students move into them, and some places couldn't build new schools. But that's all changing now. They're building more new schools, and they're doing a lot of innovation work. Now, I'm here at a school right now, and I'm dealing in the ICT area, and I'm actually changing the second largest school in Mombasa into IT friendly school, where everything is done, where computers are using at a higher level. And it's a big challenge because a lot of the teachers are old fashioned and they don't want to. Some of them have things against computers. Some of them think it's a waste of time. Like some teachers that here, they talk about, I'll never let my kids use a computer. Then you look down at her hand and she got the brand new smartphone. I'm like, why you get to use the smartphone and then the kids can't use computers at school? And the school got computers. Yeah. This school got over 100 of these laptops. Can you imagine? The government of Kenya pulled out 100 of these things for the students to use, and then some teachers are showing less interest than they should because the future is ICT. So I'm saying that these are the things. Oh, let me see. I'm getting some more calls in. I mean, some more information here. Okay, send your email. Last week, no responses yet. Okay, you're right. I don't normally use email. Okay, if you really want to get me, go and send me a message on Messenger on Facebook. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't get it or see it because my email is full of a lot of that kind of mail that's over and over again, and so I usually go there. I got 1,000 messages. I usually delete most of them or do a quick glance through. So please send me a message on either WhatsApp or send me on Facebook. You will definitely get me, and you will definitely get me. The best way to get me is on WhatsApp. If you get a response. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Okay, but most people that get with me, they'll tell you he's responsive right away when you're on Facebook or WhatsApp. Okay, propaganda is the only export from the U.S. Okay, yep, as I have said, the number, and people listen to me, the number one enemy of black people in the world. It's not guns. It's not the white man. It's not racism. It is Western mass media propaganda, news, and entertainment. Why? I mean, why do you say that? Because we educate ourselves by watching the TV that the guy owns. So he knows what to give us. It's the same thing. Anywhere you go, you start doing a video, you're gonna get your shirt nicely. You want them to get presented, see you in a certain light. You see. So America uses this Western mass media propaganda, and it confuses a lot of people. You wouldn't even get half the number of Africans rushing and trying to go to the United States if it wasn't for the movies that they watch, and they watch the movies. You and I be looking at who can I say? The actors in the movies, and an African is looking at the same movie, but he's looking at the background. He's looking at the clothes the person's wearing. He's looking at the person's living lifestyle in the movie. And the directors and people that make movies, they know this. And what we would think like, okay, let's clean the street so you can see a street, and they remove all the trash. They film it in a really nice neighborhood, and you and I can look at the movie and be like, black people don't live like that, you know, or that ain't even Boys in the Hood, they still clean up all the trash. Trash cans have to be out every once a week on the street. They don't ever film no movie with them trash cans in front of the house, you know. So Western mass media is the number one form of propaganda, my brother. Just check it out for yourself and think about it. How much do you live to watch the news? You watching the news. Damn. That shit is educating you. Now what they do, they trick you because they make they decide on what's important for you to know and what's not important for you to know. And you believe like, well, okay, since they talked about this, it must be important. And if you really stop and think, a lot of the news that they put out, a lot of these news articles and the news segments, they don't even affect you. They don't have nothing to do with you. But you sit there for like 10 minutes. Problem in China and Hong Kong. And protesters are fighting. You watch that shit for 20 minutes and your life goes for shit that you ain't gonna never go to China. You ain't never gonna go to Hong Kong. You ain't gonna never. That's never gonna affect you. Oh, maybe if Hong Kong implodes and then America has to go into war, then we'll. But do that ever happen? You know what I'm saying? Do you need to watch this show with the protesters at the basic level so you can be sure that you're not going to be affected? And even if it comes to affect you, it can affect you down the line. Not at the moment where these guys are fighting in the airport and junk like that. That's jokes. Would you go about LB? Let me get my glasses. What's up, Billy? Okay, that's Richard. Richard, thanks a lot for the $6, brother. You know what I mean? That's like 600 shillings to me. You know what I'm saying? That's great. Let us see that we can get some other people to do some supporting. Okay, you see, Richard put Western is now available online. Yes, thank you. Just in case you don't know, and people are saying like, why you gotta use Western Union? Why they cost too much? They take $5 out of the money, or that's poor man mentality. It's prevalent in America amongst blacks, and it's also prevalent in Africans. Africans are very conventional when it comes to dealing with money and spending money. I send my guys text messages, and I tell them that when they get a message, they should reply to me noting that they got the message. But they refuse to do that because it costs like money. Back 10 years ago, here text messages used to cost money, but now they're damn near free. You see what I'm saying? You get like you do a bundle for internet and you get like 500 SMSs. GM, okay, I have received your message and we'll be waiting for you. Nothing like that. You know what I mean? So this is what I call a poor man's mentality, and we need to get out of that because you really can't make money in the world and be rich with that type of mentality. You have to spend money to make money. You have to spend money to get you good opportunities. But to try to dodge it here and there, I'm gonna save 5 shillings. Or I'm not gonna send that guy an African super chat because I can get away with it, and I'm gonna still get the information, and then yeah, and I'll be entertained for free. Okay, but you see, one day it's gonna come down to I'm gonna gotta move, I'm gonna gotta do something else, I'm gonna gotta do something. Then you're gonna be looking at you like, hey, I haven't seen that guy online for a while, and it's because you didn't bother to support a brother. Even subscribe and like. I forget all the time. Subscribe to the channel and like it. That's not even gonna cost you anything. I will be on Dynasty Show and I'm talking some good stuff that he has to stop me and tell people, please hit the like button. What's wrong with that? You see? So yeah, I can remind you too. But me, I'm not here to just be just entertain. I'm gonna give you information, and then we got some things, exciting things coming. Brothers are coming to the trip. I mean to the country, and I'm meeting another brother that I met. Called me on the phone and said he's in Nairobi for 5 months, and he want to get together. When I'm gonna meet him this Friday, Saturday. I'm gonna do a show with him. Okay, and yeah, some of you know I've done a show with another brother that came here. First he went to Tanzania, then he moved to Nairobi. And what did he say? He tells you the same thing. It's good. It's good. I should not go back. And we're gonna get more brothers like that. But let us help out. So let me finish up on this video. And yeah, so I'm talking about a well-known blogger, YouTube channel owner, got thousands of viewers, has talked to me online and told me that America is better for blacks than modern Africa. And then I'm like, you can't even give me two ways that's true. Then he came out and gave me 7 ways, and we've been going through this list of the 7 ways. So better economy, he said, better infrastructure. America has more opportunity to make money in more industry than Africa, and better educational facilities. And why would he say facilities and not education? Because the education in America is crap. Now, this is the point I'm making, is that I'm saying that Africa is better for blacks than America, and he's saying the facilities. Well, I don't know. You got the charter school thing going on. Most of those charter schools are in Philadelphia. They're not so far all around the world, but then people have been trying that because people are trying to subjugate the money because the education is poor. But the problem is that are you getting these black people that's been educated by these white teachers? Okay, sometimes when my phone gets a message, it makes the video stall. Okay, so that's education facilities. Yeah, they're great, but he saw some dusty school, and he thinks like that's the way all African schools are. No, man, no. You got public schools in Kenya, and you got private schools in Kenya, and some of them private schools, you'd be shocked. They look just like in the U.S. So if you got money, you can go. They there for you. The British still bring their kids here to go to school so they can keep them out of that weather. And so that is a main issue there. Now, number 6, he said access to credit, loans and credit. You got more access to loans. He says that you got more access to loans and credit in the United States than you do in Kenya. Come on. One of the most serious problems that we have amongst our people today is that we're trying to fake rich. We say like, okay, I have no money and I want to get these things that I keep seeing on TV advertisements. I will go outside, I see all these nice people driving cars, and I want a car. And I don't care about tomorrow. Let me just get to today. And that's why a lot of credit card debt that's really blocking a great number number of our people from even thinking about coming to modern Africa and live. Now, I always say, get when you get ready to go, first get your passport, first get yourself together, get your money right, and then consolidate all your bills. Now, remember, when you move to Africa, you don't have to pay rent. You see, so that money you can be saving. You don't have to pay certain other bills, heating bill, gas bill, all these things. So a lot of that money that you would have saved over 2 3 months, it can take you for Africa. And like if you save money for 2 months in America, you can live for a year in modern Africa. So that would mean that you would not be buying things in America. So you somehow your debt would somehow freeze. But if you got some sort of small income, you can consolidate your bills. You can move and then just pay off those bills with a small amount every month. See, so and before you know it, you could be back on your feet. You know what I mean? Loans and credit. No, America is the most indebted country in the world. 45% of the world debt is in America's hands. And what people are saying that the government debt is bad, but the private sector debt is even worse. People are actually running away out from America because they got too many school loans that they can't afford to pay off. So think about this thing. Now, somehow you guys that maybe you go on this channel, you got an opportunity to say, well, I got a job. Well, I'm pretty much okay. This is interesting, but I'm pretty much safe. You won't be safe when the next recession hits, and it can hit at any time. And everybody is saying it's coming. And America has had so many recessions over the years, so it's a no-brainer that another one is going to come. But the problem is that the fail safes that America used in the past are no longer there. So this one will be devastating, totally devastating. And this will bring us back into the third world realm as far as black employment and making money. Like in the 1920s, people was working for food. You understand what I'm saying? So you won't be working for that same salary that your father and your grandfather worked for in Detroit at the car factory. Well, you won't have them benefits. You don't have them. You don't have those benefits now. You won't have them benefits like you had before. They're all being removed out because America's idea cannot be sustained. This is why the manufacturing jobs left the country, because they couldn't continue to pay people that high salary. This is why these jobs left over to Mexico, because they can get cheaper workers that work for 1/4 of what you was being paid in America. So that idea of the great America is gone. What did they tell you 7 years ago when they was telling you how you can survive the recession? They were telling you American dream should not be a house and a car. American dream should be an apartment and a good Uber ticket. Well, Uber wasn't there. I just added that in at the end. But no, you know what I mean. It's not like that. If I came back, I lived a good life when I was in America, and I was able to drive around in my car. But you see, the times was getting kind of funny because in my business, I was starting to have more Mexicans in my business than I was having African Americans in my business, and I was black conscious then. And I was like, "What? How? I'm losing my identity because I'm gonna have to settle for people who I'm gonna train martial arts too, and then they're gonna take it, and then they're gonna give me the credit. They're not gonna give you in the Black Karate Federation. They're supposed to promote black people, but now what's happening when you got Mexicans there? Are they gonna really come to black belt and then start teaching the art and then start talking about the fact that the martial arts started with black people? No. So there's an issue. Okay, Western News now, y'all. Okay, I don't know that. And then good. Thanks for okay. You're talking to him. Fine. That's what I'm saying. Uh, and I'm about to finish this video early today. I want to come on a regular basis. I want to come on a regular basis. Let's do this all the time or exact same time. Maybe you can be like I'm like a channel. You can be depending on me. Okay. But I really need to find out if this thing is going to work. Or write in the comment section why you think it's not good for me to ask for a super chat on the channel. I want to do great things, and if you go through my website on Black Man's Guide to Modern Africa on Facebook. Did I write the book? Facebook. If you go to my guide on Black Man's Guide to Modern Africa on Facebook, you'll see that group is 8 years old. I've always had the ability to see what was going on beforehand. That's why I've been in Africa 20 years before it became popular. That's why I wrote a book, Black Man's Guide to Visiting, Doing Business, and Living in Modern Africa, 2005. I knew this was coming because I did the research back then. It's obvious. You see, somebody like me with my unique abilities can get it first before you get it. But unlike a lot of brothers out there who are afraid or want to settle, I refuse to compromise. You know, and unlike a lot of brothers who could be afraid, I can fight. You know, I can defend myself. So I don't have that mindset of like, oh, what if the guys come after me and throw me in jail? Okay, fine. They put me in jail. That's put me in jail. But you know, that's why I can come to you like this. Now I'm saying I can choose to do this, or every time my wife and my kids are there at home right now eating dinner, I'm gonna get some cold food when I go there. But I was being with you to help you, and this was just like anybody that would come up with a channel like this. You know, find that channel that shows you, gives you this type of information. You know, and then support it. Even if you don't want to support me because I'm missing a tooth now, or you're not sure that black guy must have did something wrong somewhere. Why you come back to the United States? He must be a wanted man. All of that nonsense. You go through and figure it out for yourself, because I know a lot of people had that mindset. They want to look at the thing from this way, as opposed to the brother is another brother trying to help. And when they block my channel, you'd be like wondering why. But the last thing the guy said was more job training in America than in what job training? How? If they're taking the manufacturing jobs, let's go down there to downtown and go after people in the tents. Are they getting enough job training? Let's go drive down under some of these underpasses and see these people living in cardboard boxes in the United States and ask them, how's that job training going along? I don't even know why he wrote this one as number 7. He must have really been stretching. But God bless him. He thinks he wants to stay in the United States. He thinks that that's a better place. He's always trying to criticize. You can tell the brother don't have that much to criticize when he starts talking about some service at some restaurant where he went to. They took too long to bring his food, or they brought the wrong plate. So therefore I can't stay with Africans. They make me sick. This is just jokes, and we need to not pay attention to those type of people, because, like I said, they're not going to change. But if you got somebody, like with me, I was touched. I was touched to come to Africa. You know what I mean? I was just a dumbass Negro, and one day I was taking martial arts at the Temple Number 27 in Los Angeles. My instructor was teaching in the basement, so I had to go down. I wasn't a Muslim now, but I was taking it. That's where he was training, so that's where I went. And so the Nation of Islam guys were supporting a guy doing a video. Now, that guy was not a Muslim. He was just doing a video, and they were saying, come on, check this guy's out video. We're doing it in the mosque, and I went in to go to training, and I saw the guy, the Muslim guy. He saw me. He came to me, brother. Come on, go check out this video. I said, now look. I told him, look, I'm going to training. When I come out, I'll go check it out. Knowing that I'm gonna be training for a couple hours, by the time I come out, I know they're gonna be finished and gone. And so I finished training. I walked outside, and then that guy was still there. Hey, there you are, brother. You said, I was like, okay, I'm a man of my word. Let me go check it out. So I went in and sat down. And in the video, they were showing the Los Angeles City Hall building, and it was tall, showing them. So the brother was breaking it down. At the top is a step pyramid that came from Africa. Then at the next level is another section of history, representing another section of history all the way down to the base. And I was shocked because I was trying to be in LAPD, and the badge had the city hall building on it and everything, and I've been wearing that badge, and I'm looking around like I never noticed that was a step pyramid, and what is a step pyramid anyway? So to cut the long story short, I went down after the show was after the slide presentation was over, and asked the brother, where can I get some more of this information? You see, I was just called, it just called me to come and look. I didn't go like, okay, let me go with that's, leave it. I went down and got the phone number. They gave me a number. Now, the guy who made the video was not there, but when I called, it was a different guy. And the guy was like, I'm doing some new videotapes now, and, you can come over. If you can come to my house, you can buy them. And I'm like, okay, where you live? He said, on Sycamore Street. And I'm like, damn, I'm just around the corner from you. And this Los Angeles, but I even just walked around the corner early in the morning and went to the brother's house. Saw his I know that's his ex-wife now because she wasn't that conscious. And then the brother showed me a setup where he was making these VHS videos, and started talking to me. So I said, well, brother, I saw the information and it was really tripping me out. So the guy started talking to me, and he was like, the stuff was going over my head, and then all of a sudden I caught a glimpse of something. And then the brother went on, and then he started talking about the religious part of it, and he was like, Jesus was a black man. I'm like, what? Jesus was a black man? What the heck? Huh? What? Oh. Because I was brought up in private school, Catholic school, so I was this took me, and I was like, damn. So I started asking these dumbass questions, and the guy must have seen how totally dumb I was, and he spent from morning until dark. I remember at one point I was laying out on his front lawn on my back, looking up at the sky, and just like, man, this is just too much. And the name of that brother was Ashwa Kwesi. And Ashwa Kwesi, I'll give him props to this day. That brother didn't have to spend all that time with me. But I bought one of his VHS that was ready, and he was still working on the other one, and I bought those two right after that. Now the difference here is that that was when VHS first started coming out. In fact, I was one of the first ones to get his tape. And I could go home and put it in my VHS machine and then play it, over the TV. Before that, there was nothing like you turn on your TV, you just a slave to whatever comes on the TV. But with the VHS machine, for the first time, we had control over what was being shown on the TV. And so I started putting the tape in and playing it, and they was just rewinding and playing with it. Then he started talking about S1 Bookshop, and then I went to S1 Bookshop, started buying books, and boom, it hit me. Damn, I've been a fool all my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I became Black Conscious. So what is this now? It's the program. Okay, somebody else. You should get something for your efforts this year, and African Americans that were afraid to take the leap. There are others, Americans that went back in the 80s. Yeah, brothers are here. I'm telling you, I'm meeting another brother on either Friday, I think on Saturday, because I have a 3-day schedule really packed for those 3 days. But yeah, I'm going to Nairobi, and I'm going to check out the brother. He seems like he's a good brother, and we'll see what his story is. But they're coming. Many brothers are coming. When's your boy Dynas gonna move to Africa? Now this is a question, and I said this. Thanks, Marcus, for asking that question. You wonder. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a hypocrite, but and I'm not saying that Dynas is a hypocrite. I'm just saying that that question is being asked more and more. And a lot of times when I'm on the show, even there's certain things that we can't discuss, because he fears that his channel is going to be done this way or that way, or he has guests that are flipping to other areas. Now, it's not just Dynas. You can only take the Black consciousness thing so far. I got like 6 minutes left. So once again, you guys think about this. If you haven't done it, think about it. And you people that came late and have seen the video after the live stream, please don't think that you exempt from this. Let's get some coins in there. I want to be able to say that people will respect this channel because they're willing to put in some super chat money, African super chat money, $5, $10. Richard just sent $6. It's great. So you can only take this black consciousness thing so far, and then it's over. You see? So if you're in the United States and you're making money, you're hustling off of black people's problems. Oh, look what they did to us. Look what Trump said. Look at the comedy. This one did that. Look, blacks been shot. Blacks don't get shot on a regular basis out of everywhere in the United States compared to the population. I know this. That's why you don't see me really putting out a lot of things about, okay, blacks are shooting, killing, police are shooting, killing blacks. It's rare compared to the size, but it happens on a regular basis. And it's far more likely to happen to you in the United States than it would be in an African country where guns are illegal to carry and people don't just carry guns, and the people are thrifty, and so they don't carry a lot of money. And now in Kenya, people got it in pesos, so you got to really like catch a person, kidnap their ass, torture them to get the goddamn the code number for the M-Pesa, and then hope they got fucking money in there for your efforts. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you can't get that. You know what I'm saying? And then even if you remove the tree, what you gonna do with them after that? If they see in your face, that's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? So crime rate in Kenya, violent crime where people attacking people, stealing their purse and stuff like that, stealing their phone, that's gone. And people got locks on their phones, so even if you steal most phones, you can't get past the lock. So and then you got to get past the M-Pesa code. So it's like that's. I know a lot of criminals are sad now because they can't really, like they come to me, give me your phone, here, take it, shit, So, yeah, so you can't really, so people like Dynas and other black bloggers, they got to start talking about all of these things like that, but then they're kind of missing the real point of all this. And that, you have your people that want to be just entertained, like listen to my voice and might get a few new things that they didn't know. That's all cool. But then what about the action plan? This shit is serious. This problem is coming. The United States is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? 2000, if I had a channel in 2007, 8, they'd probably be having thousands of viewers by now. But I just didn't know there was a recession because I was sitting here pretty in Africa. And the fact that you're gonna have children and they're gonna tell you that your children are gonna be make less money than you did. What do you think that means? You can't depend on your children when you're 60, 70. They're gonna put you either in an old folks home or they're gonna put you in a room somewhere with a TV and a bed and then use your money, split your Social Security money with themselves to help balance out their bills. That's going on all over America today. But I'm 36. I got a long way to go. Shit, that shit happened to you in a minute. You know what I mean? Don't think that I'm 47 now, I'm okay. No, you get a mild heart attack or you get some health problems. You find yourself in need help. You see? But a lot of us would rather spend life in a goddamn tent on the roadside rather than bother our family members. This is where the capitalistic system has gotten us. I'm in Africa, shit. I'm gonna be talking like, hey man, I need help. I'm 80 years old. Somebody got to get up and help me. And I know I ain't got to say that. It's just gonna be automatic. It's almost happening to me now. People coming helping me because they see gray hair. You see. So think about your future. Think about your children's future. And no, America is not the better option by far. There's too many things that are going on in Africa, and I'm not even talking about the great things like the new discovery of oil. Kenya is now an exporter of oil. They just started sending out the first shipment of oil made 1.2 billion shillings. All they got is put 25% of that with the British because it was a British exploratory oil company that did the work, and that was the deal that they made. But by far, they sure ain't gonna take no 75% like they would, or 80% like they was doing, 30 years ago. Africans not gonna go for that now, and so it's just more and more reasons are popping up for us to come and get together in Africa. I want to start a trip for April 2020. I was talking to some people about it. Some of my family members say they're gonna come visit. I don't know how true that is, but I would love to start talking about that. Let's have a conversation about that on the channel. But I need support. I need to know that people are going. If you can't send $5 or $10 to support the channel, then why? How am I gonna expect you to go tell me you're gonna come and fly here on a plane ticket and come and see Africa for yourself? You see? And I have had guys that could listen to me come fly here and then don't contact me until the day that they was leaving, as if they want to show me that they could do the whole trip without me, or they thought I was gonna ask them for money when they got here. But nothing is further from the truth by far. We're not like that here. That's not the African way. And so when he goes back and he wants to come back, he gonna need information. He can't call me because he did this trick. There's some Negroes that's like that. You know, there's a brother that came here, and by the time he got to call me, he didn't already rented a place on the beach, paying how much was that? Some exorbitant amount of money. And I was like, you don't have to stay here and pay that money. You can pay, 3 times less over here, and it's better. So I took the brother there. Yeah, it's good. You right, you right, you right. But that's 2 weeks of spending all that money wasted because you didn't come to somebody who knows to say, what you think, man, or how, am I making the right choice? Am I making the right choice on this one? What 5 words can save you lots of money, but you too proud to ask? You have to realize that that's part of the fucked up mentality that we have in the United States. And I'm saying you need to get over that because Africa is not like that. And no, don't think I don't know, because 21 years to the day, I'm still haunted by thoughts from back dealing with the United States. Like a brother's walking up on me, and I was thinking the other day, like, what if that guy got a Glock? I'm like, where'd that come from in my mind? There's no guns here in the first place. I got a better chance of getting hit by a red Mercedes Benz, XLB than get somebody to walk up to some African guy walking down the road and pull out a Glock. I don't even know why I'm thinking like that. But I'm just trying to show you that the mental torture the things are still in our minds. And they're gonna be there until we die. But I bet you one goddamn thing. I look at my children and they playing all over the place and they ain't gonna have them goddamn thoughts. And so therefore, as far as the world is concerned, I have done my job. Got rid of that nonsense. Okay, guys, I'm closing out. My videos can't go more than an hour. Africa is obvious. The African superstar. Hey, my girl, how's it going? Some people are stubborn. I'm right. You talked about it in your video, and I was looking at that. And yeah, but I've been dealing with people for a long time, and I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do is let them get to you. You just have to expect them to be knuckleheads, and expect people to be the way they are, and respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what they went through to get to that point. That sometimes that kind of attitude works for them, and they can't just break off of it. You know what I'm saying? So, like what Ashwa Kwesi told me, when I told you earlier, Ashwa Kwesi got me conscious. I ran to my best friend Greg Roberts. May he rest in peace. I ran to him, brother, look at this information, man. Let me tell you, dude, the pyramids. Oh, we built them. Oh, we did all these things. We Greg, you gotta see, man, you gotta see this. The guy looked at me like he could care fucking less. And I was out of breath, and I went back to Ashwa Kwesi running because he had given me all this information. So I thought that he knew what to do about how to get my friend conscious. So I ran to Ashwa Kwesi. I talked to my friend, and what do you do when I remember telling him just like this? What do you do when you telling the people the information and they just don't get it? What do you say to them to make them get it? And he told me, brother, you just bypass that person. And suddenly a large weight went off my shoulders. And the next time I saw my very oldest and dearest best friend, we wasn't friends anymore. I was looking at him a whole new light. I'm like, man, the dude was getting high. The dude smoking. He's dead now. And, all kind of other things he didn't involve me in. And wouldn't, because he knew my life wasn't going in that direction. And I appreciate him for keeping me, out of the thing. I come looking for him and they gone. Or like a couple of my friends, they gone. They were going to get high or whatever, and do some dubious stuff, and they knew that they didn't want to get me involved in that. Because they said out of all the people on our block, all the brothers on our block, they said me and Phil Frierson would be the only two to make something of ourselves. And we was teenagers, and I was just laughing. And shit, it came true. So yeah, just let them bypass. Thanks you, sister, for the love. Great. You want to come to Africa? Either I'm gonna have to come to Ghana to see you, or you're gonna have to make that trip to Kenya. But be careful, because when you come to Kenya, I'm telling you, you're gonna slap yourself when you think about going back to Ghana. You're like, I made a mistake. Kenya is where all the action is. Okay, but okay, isn't that man live when you're going to? Okay, I'm getting off here now, and I think I want to thank you guys for coming on and watching the show. I'm gonna do this again. I know you guys hate it, and I know I'm doing something wrong here. Somebody gotta tell me, because I can't get people to love. Put some love in there. You know. Granted, the show is small, and we only get 200 visitors, but that's because I have a narrative that's direct. And I want to be able to read all your super chats. Let's not make it a big channel. Let's keep it just for those people that say, "Oh, when I see that guy, all he's gonna do is talk about going back to Africa. I don't want to see him anymore." That's okay. But there's some people like, "Man, I gotta make this trip. What the brother's saying today is good. Let me check him out." Now that brother, you should be dropping some few coins this way. Okay, I'm going to see you in Kenya on the next time. Yes, make sure you do that. He was in there in Nairobi with the Maasai get up. That was you should next time you're gonna wear regular clothes, and then I'm gonna take you to meet some people. You'd be surprised. So thank you guys for your time with the channel today. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the video, and also get into the comment section. I'm going to answer all your comments in the comment section. That's another great thing why this channel is good. And give me some suggestions on how I can make the channel better. Give me some topics on what you want to hear about, and I'll be sure to give you my take on them. So this is Amin Ra, coming to you live from the modern African city of Mombasa, where the weather is beautiful. We'll be doing another video in a few days, and hopefully this weekend, if I get somebody to super chat me, African super chat me on the Western Union thing, we're definitely gonna have a video in that person's honor, in Nairobi, with a brother that just came into Kenya for the first time. He was from California, and he moved here. He said he ain't going back. So we're gonna have an interview with him. But let me get a super chat from you guys, even if you're not seeing the video live. Okay? Thank you guys. Till the next time, peace. Now, where is that end button? Oh, there it is.